want the best fan-made content for this Premier League season?
Bring in that real fan experience. Want to see some crazy?
Wherever you are in the world,
bringing you the latest opinions
and fan reactions.
Back again.
Welcome to FanPark Live.
Brand new shows every week.
UFF are going hard this year, you know. So make sure you lock in.
Come on!
Real fan opinions brought to you by Wash and Go.
Yes, we are. Hello and welcome to FanPark Live, hosted by me, Adam Charles from the Fifth Official. Today, I'm joined by none other than Claude.
Hello, everyone.
And Chris. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Thank you.
Do you enjoy that game, guys?
Oh, what a game. And Wolves have been so impressive this season, and they've gone up another level today. Brilliant. Brilliant performance.
There we go. It all started so well for Manchester United. They got the goal early from Fred, a bit of beautiful play by Paul Pogba. But the second half, we saw Wolves.
I mean, I think we've seen it quite the last two games I've seen with young boys and Watford the week before, where United will start off on top in the first half and then they'll find themselves in the lead. And whether they win it or as you saw today, draw, I think they allow teams to get back into the game. I don't know if it's complacency. I don't know if it's tactical instruction from the coach, but it's a bit of a pattern I've started noticing. So, but you have to give credit to Wolves. I think, especially towards the last 15 minutes, their defenders defended brilliantly. Like Bowley was fantastic. You know, the midfield was really good. I thought Neves and Moutinho were really, really good.
Of course.
Costa was really, really good. And if it wasn't for Traore maybe having a better decision making in the latter stages of the second half, I think they could have even nicked it. But all in all, I'm not surprised if United would be bitterly disappointed and bitterly frustrated with what they saw today.
See, I was going to make that point. Obviously, we've seen a decent run of results for Manchester United over the past couple games. Everyone was talking about how this was going to be perhaps a difficult game for them to navigate because Wolves have been so impressive. Is it embarrassing for Manchester United, or is it a decent result considering how well Wolves have been playing?
You know what? Sometimes you got to give credit to Wolves. I think they've been brilliant this season, and more at home. But this is they weren't too brilliant away, but today they performed brilliantly away from home. And, you know, to go to Old Trafford and play like that, well, fantastic. And let's see if they can keep that up. They could do well this season. I think that, you know, let's give credit to the opposition as well, you know. But it's a tale of Pogba doing a good thing in the nice assist in the first half and then the mistake for their goal, isn't it?
That's
so
it.
That's the inconsistency, isn't it?
There we go. Guys, we're going to be taking your calls, so make sure you call us on 0203 606 0315. Again, straight off the top of my head. I love that. But yeah, just on that, because obviously Paul Pogba is the player that we're all going to talk about, that we all want to see do well. Just quickly, I know that's your boy.
That's definitely
I know
my
you
guy.
love him.
That's definitely my guy.
Talk to me about Paul Pogba. As you said, Claude, we saw the good in the first half. We saw the bad in the second half. What are we taking from this game?
I don't want to be too harsh in the sense that I think overall he actually had a very good game. He was fantastic in the first half. I actually thought he was actually very good in the second half, but it's just that one mistake. He actually done it twice where he just held onto the ball a little bit longer. You know, in those situations there, if you don't have any support around you from the midfield, you play simple, play the way you're facing. Guardiola, who's obviously the biggest proponent for like good coordinated possession-based football, he even says City are a much better team when they play simple, when the ball's just moving pop, 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 pop. And I think as a central midfielder, when you don't have that immediate option, if you don't check your shoulders, if you don't see the picture behind you, you've got to play the way you're facing, because you see how Pogba plays when he's playing well.
Yep.
Chances are if he pops it and then looks to receive it again within 2 seconds, he has the ball and you're facing forward.
There we go.
And he made a similar mistake maybe 20 minutes on, but it just wasn't punished. So for me, it was frustrating more than anything, because people will look at that, fans will look at that, and they'll be like, oh, Pogba mistake.
Soonest will look at that.
Do you know what I mean? But it's just like, overall, if you actually looked at it objectively, Pogba actually had a very, very good game. He created plenty of chances. Dictated the game really, really well. Even after the mistake, I actually thought he played really, really well. It's difficult for me because he's not 22, 23. Like, at this point, if you look at other world-class midfielders that were at his age back then, they weren't making similar mistakes.
No, they were not.
So it's hard for me that every season I'm always going to say, okay, you know, he's going to cut it out. He's going to cut it out. I think he's going to keep on improving, in my opinion. But it's, yeah, frustrated is the only way I can describe how I'm feeling right now.
Anything to add, Claude?
Not only that, they've drawn both with Man City and Man United this season. They will. So you can't. That shows you what a good side they are, and they'll definitely. I'm telling you this now. They won't be in any relegation battle this year.
Well, we never know. Don't speak too soon.
I'm telling you, what I've seen, and the coach has got them really working well. I can't see them being in any trouble.
We will see. Any calls, Abs? Cool. Let's take some calls. We've got a United fan.
I'm waiting. Hey, listen, we need to talk about Lukaku. That's what we need to talk about.
Don't worry, we'll get there. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name? And, well, I know you support United. What do you think about the game?
We were poor, mate.
Ooh. Turn that down in the back, please, for us.
Oh, sorry, man, hold up.
No problem.
Yeah, we were poor, mate.
Really?
I mean, I just saw that team lineup, and I was like thinking, why aren't we playing Martial from the start? Our midfield, Pogba's got no support. I know Fred got a goal, but we're missing Matic from that game. Our midfield was just poor today.
What difference do you think Matic would have made? Because I saw Fellaini, and Fellaini had a half decent game. I don't think he did anything bad, and the type of player that Matic is, I don't really understand what difference or contribution he would have made that Fellaini didn't.
Well, Matic would have been a holding mid. Fellaini would have had more time to go up. I mean, Fred Pogba going up front, Fellaini was going up front. It was like sometimes we had no DM, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I get it.
We were just poor. Like Sanchez poor, Lingard poor. Lukaku, he should have scored. He had chances to score. But we're about 5-6 players off actually competing for anything, to be honest.
Right.
Like we ain't got a backup striker. But
all right.
I don't know, man. I'm not happy. We should have won the game, but
I can hear
it is what it is.
On that Martial point, Martial started during the week, and he got himself a goal. What are we saying? Do you think he should have started over Alexis Sanchez today, or not?
No. I think he should have started over Lingard today, because Lingard hasn't really done that much in the last few games. I thought Martial would have played on the right, but obviously Mourinho didn't want to play him. But it is what it is.
Like you said,
Rashford suspended. So I would have started Martial. He's had a good game midweek. He should have started.
Yeah, go on.
All right, so just on personal selection. Yeah, I think there's value in saying that Martial should have started. We were saying on Wednesday that with Martial, you can't just drop it in and out and expect him to give you the kind of performances that you want from him. So he definitely should have started, but it's very hard to start someone at the moment anyway when you've got a player in Sanchez who's on 350k. Like, even if Mourinho doesn't want to start Alexis, it's like you'll have pressure from other people in the club to be like, okay, if you're going to spend this much on a player, like, he has to play where he can. Now, I would have just started all three, personally speaking. Like, if you're going to drop Rashford, start Alexis on the right, start Martial on the left, or swap sides however you want to do it, and then obviously play Lukaku up front. When you say you're 5-6 players off, I don't really agree with that, because I feel outside of maybe Valencia, and even then Valencia's had a really, really good season last year anyway.
Did.
Where do you replace those players? Like Lukaku, maybe, yeah, you can replace him because he's been underwhelming for.
I just think we don't have enough players to cover some positions. Like, we don't have a backup striker.
Well, that's not really true.
Sanchez is the right person for us to have.
When you say you don't have a backup striker, you've got Martial, who can play up front and has done for Manchester United. You've got Rashford, who can play up front and has done for Manchester United.
And both of their best form was playing as strikers.
The problem is Mourinho doesn't play them as strikers. That's the problem.
Okay, right. But
I believe he can't take this team any further.
I see.
At all.
So it's not necessarily that you don't have the players; it's that the management of the players isn't up to par.
Yeah, basically, he would not play them as strikers. That's the problem. So you're using Lukaku 90 minutes in and out pretty much every week.
Yeah,
we have no backup striker. like back in the day when we ever had Hernandez, who would come on, he would get a goal. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, but that would be the equivalent of like Ferguson bringing on Hernandez to play right wing or left wing and then track back.
I hear that. Listen, Carl, thank you very much for your call, though, man.
Are you sure? Was Rashford suspended then? Was Rashford suspended?
Yeah, Claude, what do you think on that? Let's forget about whether Rashford was suspended or not, because I don't think he was, because he was on the bench.
He was on the bench.
Yeah, he was.
Well, someone said he was suspended anyway.
Yeah.
What do I think? Sorry.
What do you think about Lukaku playing up front as the number 9, playing week in, week out? Do you think he's good enough for Manchester United?
He blows hot and cold, doesn't he? I mean, on his days, he's a terrific striker, but you see, I don't know. I don't make him to be that £75 million striker that he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if
he can be very wasteful.
But people say that, yeah, like I'm not being funny, but Firmino as an out and out number 9 is not better than Lukaku.
Is he not?
As an actual striker, I'm pretty sure Lukaku outscored him last year.
In the Premier League,
I'll check.
I know that Lukaku got like 12 league goals or something like.
Yeah,
something like
listen,
that.
Firmino didn't score that much. You see, I've won 5 out of 5, and don't tell me that Giroud or Morata are better than Lukaku either, because I don't think they are. We weren't having this conversation at the beginning of last season.
No, but seasons change.
Okay, right. So
let's take another call.
Okay, but that's the point. So is it the individual or is it the team?
And you know what? We're gonna ask this next caller. Lovely. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name?
It's Everyday Same.
Hello, Everyday Same. How you feeling?
How am I feeling?
Yeah.
I kind of caught the tail end of that last caller, and I don't understand it. I mean, I don't feel disappointed at all. We've just dropped 2 points. Okay. I don't feel disappointed at all because the team played really well.
Yeah.
And like Wolves, it's like, you know, say if you're into music and you're at a festival and you went to see a DJ that you'd never heard before, and he played 30 banging tunes and you just had a brilliant time. But I'd never heard of any of these Wolves players. Yeah. And they were absolutely brilliant. I'm like a fan of Wolverhampton Wanderers. What a brilliant team! Their spirit and I mean, it's like who was their man of the match? They had about 6.
Yeah,
and it's like people going on. This is how you can tell it's overcritical against United. Because for me, that was Pogba's best game for United. And you can say he made the mistake for the goal, but the mistake was because he was closed in. It was a plan from there. That Ruben Neves guy, which is the only guy I'd heard of because everyone's talking about him.
Yeah.
And what a player he is. As quick in the shackle as he is as good with the pass. It's like, you know, we need to buy in before City do, and they've got like their next David Silva for their next 10 years.
Can I ask you something?
They're absolutely brilliant.
Can I ask you something?
Go on, sorry.
What do you feel about Alexis? How do you feel about Alexis Sanchez?
Right, Alexis Sanchez. What's going on with Alexis Sanchez is simple, right? He's come into a team and he's getting paid more than everybody else. Right. That's only point number 1. Then he's from Arsenal. Then he's upset Martial, who Pogba has actually on the record said, I enjoy playing football with this guy every day. He's the best player at the club.
Right.
So he's out of the clique. He's being played more than everybody else and in the Premier League. And because of that, he's trying too hard. So when things go wrong for him, no one's got any sympathy. And he's always trying too hard. I don't mind him giving the ball away because that's what you need to do if you're going to take risks.
Plenty of times.
But he's just trying too hard. Eventually it will come good, but there's always going to be that kind of that stink there. You know, if you're trying to ingratiate yourself into a group, you don't go and slap one of the leaders, do you? And that's what he's inadvertently done.
So he's going on about Sanchez being out of the clique. That was the same thing at Arsenal.
Right.
He was out of the clique at Arsenal. There was a lot of players that didn't get on with him.
But in Manchester United it's worse, isn't it? Because he's been forced. He's out of the clique because he's been forced in that situation. Then you get the wage thing as well. So you know, it's just one of them. But
so why do you think that translates to subpar performances on the pitch?
Well, like you say, he's got that feeling. He's got that feeling. It's almost like a subconscious thing. You know, you saw Wolves are Wolves because they're talented, they're well organised, and God, do they fight for each other. And it was a beautiful thing to say. It really, really was.
Yeah.
Now, as much as Sanchez is going to try hard, a lot of the time, it kind of seems like he's doing it on his own. It's like he'll initiate a press, but because subconsciously there's a bit of a click thing going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even the people that don't have an issue with him won't want to kind of stick up for him because that will offend, Pogba and the click and all that. So I do feel sorry for him. He's trying too hard, basically. Okay. He's trying to do a worldie every time he gets it, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Every day same. Thank you very much. That's a brilliant call.
That's a great call, man. Thank you very much.
Cool. No problem. Bye.
I think he's got a great point. You know, as I said before, Wolves played really well.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can only play as good sometimes as the opposition allow you to play.
True.
All right.
And let's not forget they come off of three wins on the trot, didn't they? So
yeah.
So but you know, you can't 1 minute he's out and the next minute in, out. You know what I'm trying to say.
But listen, as a professional footballer, this is as a professional football player, you know that you may be moving from one team to the next, especially if you are as publicly unhappy as Sanchez was at Arsenal. So wouldn't you mentally prepare yourself to go to the club that you're going to go to, knowing that you might ruffle a few feathers and upset some people? Are we not just pandering to Sanchez a little bit? I get that he might have upset Martial, but you're a professional football player. It's your job.
But I mean, like, Martial was already in that situation to a degree before Sanchez arrived.
Okay, yeah.
So I think even with Martial, like that situation, you probably would have get more minutes if Sanchez was in there. But that was already the case. I think with Alexis, I don't see that much difference between some of his performances at Arsenal towards that last season and to what we're seeing now. Why? I don't know. I think part of that is, seeing Alexis play at Barcelona, he wasn't the main man. Like, if anything, he was doing all of the off the ball running. He was second in command to as a forward anyway to Messi, and he's come over to England now, and at Arsenal in the forward line he's like the main man,
of course.
And at United you're getting paid X amount. So sometimes your status at a club has you play slightly differently. And I think with Alexis, where I hold him accountable is, can you play more for the team? And what I mean for that, it isn't necessarily tracking or pressing and whatnot. It's, listen, you can't just be on the left and just expect the ball to feet all the time. Sometimes run in behind. That's my major gripe with Alexis at United. It's can you be more of an off the ball presence? But that's the thing when you're managing superstars at this level of football. It's, can you convince them to buy into your ideas and what you want from them? And I think with Alexis, I don't know if Mourinho or Wenger last season really pushed him to do that.
Okay. But
I think purely from an on the pitch perspective, because we can come up with our own theories as to what's happening with Alexis. Is it the Martial Pogba thing? Is it the money thing? We can come up with all of these things, but ultimately we've got to judge him by what we saw on the pitch.
I feel he made a big mistake. I think
Sanchez leaving Arsenal.
No, he should have gone City.
No, he should have gone City.
It would have been perfect for him.
Guardiola would have got the best out of him. I think Guardiola would have got really him going, and he would have got him into a team pattern, and he would have got him playing well. I just feel that
he
joined the wrong team for me.
Yeah, because having watched the All or Nothing documentary, that episode when they were covering the January transfer period. And they mentioned it. It was like, we really wanted him at the beginning of the season, but now financially it's different because obviously you've got United coming in. They've bumped up, essentially what the salary is. So obviously Sanchez goes back to City. He's like, okay, well, they're offering me this. Now, again, you don't know what the motivations for each player is, right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, my thing is that when you're at the peak of your career, you need to find that balance between getting paid what you're worth, but also maximizing your opportunity to be successful. Because at the end of the day, if you go to City and then you're successful there as an individual and also contributing to them winning more trophies, like the major trophies, I think that actually does more for your value as a player. Like, you can dictate more. Right. Even if you're moving to another club, you can I was winning trophies.
Yeah. Also, what Guardiola does, he gets every blood and sweat out of you.
Except on Wednesday,
Oh, well, that's one off. But I mean, he'll get everything out of you. And he wasn't in charge of the team on Wednesday, by the way.
True. It was Arteta who could have been Arsenal's next.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he'll get you to go that extra step. And maybe that's why he doesn't last more than a few years, because maybe the players can't do it for more than
Well, it's a general thing. I think that's what that's what people are saying about Pochettino this season. It's just like,
Let's get a call, please. Hi, sir. Yeah. Is that what we're saying about Pochettino? We're gonna go. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name, mate?
Mohammed.
Hello, Mohammed.
Yes, this is the call I'm expecting.
How are you feeling, bro?
I told you after the young boys game, Adam.
Yes.
I'm not going to be negative anymore, innit? People have to learn the hard way. People have to learn the hard way. Say it again?
What's the hard way, bro?
They have to learn what everything I've said has to come back to bite me. Nothing has come back to her. Terry's not in the studio.
Yep.
It's you, Chris, and Claude.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So who's your who's your gripe with today?
Who I rated the most today? De Gea.
You rated De Gea the most today.
De Gea the most. Look at the saves he made. They had 8 shots on goal.
Okay.
And 8 shots on goal at home.
All right.
And we're playing at Old Trafford. We're playing at OT. We're not playing at their stadium, are we?
Yeah. So who upset you the most today?
Who upset me the most?
Yeah.
The manager and some of the players.
The manager.
You know what? I don't understand. You know what? I called Mourinho a fraud. I've got justification for it. The amount of money he spent on Man United, and De Gea is our best player. That is a disgrace.
Okay.
That is a disgrace. Even the pundits are even saying the same thing as I'm saying right now, and they get paid for their opinions. I don't. That's just facts. If I can say to you, if anything, Pep Guardiola's a fraud. I could justify it. He's not won a championship without the best player.
All right, let's
calm
down. First of all, Cristiano's the best player, but anyway, let's not have that debate. But no,
I'm saying at that time. At that time, at that time.
I'm just playing.
Yeah.
So he spent all this money on these players. He hasn't managed
and De Gea is the best player.
And De Gea is the best player. But is that testament to just how good De Gea is? Or do you think there's more to say about Mourinho's management style?
But he's not. But I tell you, be honest with you. You watch Mani games a lot. Has he improved anyone? That's what I want to know. Probably Jesse Lingard.
Luke Shaw.
Has he improved anyone?
Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw. Yeah. Nah, listen, Luke Shaw, listen. Let me answer this question. I'm glad you said Luke Shaw. Let me answer that question. Yeah? Adam.
Yeah, he's got smoke.
Let me answer that question.
Free smoke.
It was Watford game. Mourinho's first season against Watford, we lost 3-1.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw made that mistake. Since then, Luke Shaw was ace off the game. He's not started at all for long time.
Yeah,
he's not started for long time.
But he's playing well
right
this
now.
year.
He's proved the point right now. Yeah, he's proved the point right now that I'm gonna fight. Mourinho hasn't made him any better. Even the pundits are talking about it. Mourinho has not made anyone at Manchester United better. If anything, Lingard was probably the only player he's made any better.
No, but
Mourinho is a fraud. Simple.
But how can
There's no way I
that?
even say to Terry, Mourinho is a fraud.
But listen,
a tactical fraud.
Luke Shaw, and we're gonna touch on both of those points. Luke Shaw was fat. There's no two ways about it. Luke Shaw was a fat boy playing football, playing left back. And Mourinho got on. No.
All right,
Mourinho got onto him. Mourinho got onto him and hold on. Mourinho got onto him and told him to lose weight. He lost weight, and now Luke Shaw's come out. I sound so much like Terry. It's mad. Luke Shaw's come out and said, "Yeah, Mourinho was good for me, and he helped me lose weight." So we're not just talking about footballing terms. We're talking about the mental aspect. We're talking about the psychology of a player as well. How can you say that Mourinho has not improved someone if he has come out himself and said?
That's why my justification. Why is he our best player then? Why is he so good? Without him, where would he be? Why was they? Even pundits are talking about this, mate. Wake up to the reality. Stop sugarcoating. Wake up to reality, Adam.
My brother, I don't support Manchester United. This is reality for me.
Yeah, you've got
to support United.
I tell you what, he has got a point because without De Gea last
season, Claude, you're the only one in Arsenal fan TV I love the most because you don't sugarcoat. You tell him how it is. I don't feel around the bush, mate.
You've got a point because without De Gea last season, they would have finished 5th.
Okay.
He said without De Gea last season, you would have finished 5th. Am I right?
Probably 6th, if anything.
Right. Okay. No, you would have finished above Arsenal. Don't worry about that.
Listen, Mohammed, we'll keep listening. We're gonna touch on something you said, but thank you very much for your call, though.
In a bit, man. All right, bye.
Cheers.
Right. So, okay. All right. We'll get to him in a second. In fact, no. Let me take it first. Go on, because he's calling from America. Shout out. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hey guys, it's Carl. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you doing?
I am doing amazing. Just watch my slide put in 5 goals, Best Saturday morning for me.
Okay.
I told you, remember on Wednesday I said this guy, as a City fan, why would you be worried?
Yeah, of course.
He's been calm. He knew, Saturday we're going to whack whoever we're going to play.
I mean, it's different playing, who did you put? Cardiff, but anyway.
What happened in the week, though? God, what happened in the week?
You should have listened, he would have told you. Let's go.
Nah, let's not go over the same ground.
Well, let me ask, which 3 points would you rather, this one or Young Boys?
Free smoke!
Yeah, you got the point.
Free smoke!
Okay.
Free smoke!
I hear what you're saying.
Hey, City fans, I like City fans.
So obviously, which game did you want to talk about? The City game or the Manchester United game?
Well, we all saw the City game, and that was kind of expected. Let's talk about the Manchester United game.
All right, talk to me
you know,
about
I remember, was it Wednesday?
It was.
After United beat Young Boys, Pogba got a goal and an assist, I believe, or 2 goals.
2 goals and assist.
I went online and I noticed people using this word Pogba and De Bruyne in the same line. Never again, people. Quit that shit. Pogba is nowhere near De Bruyne quality. It's proven today.
I don't know who who said that. Who has compared Pogba and De Bruyne?
Just a lot of United fans, you know, to get excited after United gets a win. I mean, especially if Pogba gets a goal or an assist, eh?
I heard people comparing Pogba and Xhaka, but listen, Pogba and De Bruyne, that's not levels at all. I'm sorry, it's not. I'm sorry, Chris.
No.
But yeah, again, you know, Mourinho. I told Terry a few weeks back, you know, I told Terry that Mourinho is done.
Okay.
Like, I mean it. Like, Mourinho days are done. Like, Mourinho ideas are just so dysfunctional. It's just not for this era, right? Okay. I get why you buy, again, another troll I need to put on. I notice you guys are spending 500 quid really well. Okay. Right? Keep it up. Right? Like, buying these finished articles with no real plan behind it.
Yeah.
It's not going to win you a trophy. It's not going to win you a title. Like, it's not going to win you the Prem. It's not going to win you the Champions League. Might win you an EFL Cup because nobody really cares about it. But these are numbered. I guarantee after this job, he's probably not going to find another job with any sort of a reputable club.
Completely.
Any certain type of standard.
He'll probably go PSG or something like that. But listen, Carl, thank you very much for your call as always. Make sure you call in again because I always like hearing you banter Manchester United. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
No, I wish it was Terry on today, boy.
Yeah, me too. But he's got a prior. But he's got a prior engagement. Let's not troll him.
Terry's burying his head at the moment.
He is. All right. So obviously,
let's talk, man.
There's fans that are talking about Mourinho being done, tactical dinosaur.
Oh, God.
Why are you getting stressed?
Because it's so knee-jerk.
There's no smoke without fire, Chris.
All right, listen, I'm not saying that Mourinho's doing the best job that he can be doing. I don't think so at all. It's a combination of issues at United, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, like if no one was giving Mourinho his praises when they beat Young Boys or off the back of the 3-match.
Oh, we were.
No, like we weren't going on like Mourinho's back or whatever, or he's like the top manager or whatever. Obviously, we're saying he did well to obviously galvanise the squad after losing against Spurs, but I think it's a combination of things at United. Is whether it's individual quality, whether it's Ed Woodward getting the players that Mourinho wanted, whether it's Mourinho's tactical flaws. Like it's more than one thing, and I think people just need to stop focusing on one thing and thinking it's just that.
Well, Claude, you agree?
You can have the best tactical brain in the world if your dressing room's not with it. Don't make a blind bit of difference.
What do we mean? What do we mean if your dressing room's not with it? He's bought these players. Well, he's brought them in. So, and whose job is it to make sure the players are with him?
There is rifts in the dressing room. There is players that are against him, and they're in the dressing room.
Yeah. But whose fault is that?
And that's not. And if you can go on about tactical plans, if your tactical plans won't work, if those players are not with you, they're not. It's not going to work.
But people say that, but like, what players outside of Pogba and Martial? That's 2 players in a 20+ man squad.
They are 2 important players.
No. So I'm not disputing the fact that they're influential players, but I think But if you was to watch United without any context, if you were just to watch what's happening, right, and you didn't know what was happening, you wouldn't look at that and be like, they're not playing for him.
No, you wouldn't.
Compare that to Chelsea and Conte last season. You'd look at Chelsea and be like, they're really not playing for the manager.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, I don't think you can look at United without all of the, the media speaking or the fans speaking on social media. I think you look at United still and be like, nah, They look motivated. They just don't look as cohesive as they can be.
The combination of factors you're talking about is purely or Ed Woodward not making the signings that
I
Mourinho
I definitely would say that there are players that Mourinho would have liked to have signed that they didn't sign.
Okay.
I think that's one thing. I do think it's individual quality in certain areas. I think Fellaini shouldn't be starting for United in any way, shape or form. I don't care whether you want to go defensive, offensive, play long ball, whatever. That man should not be starting for Manchester United.
Who made him stay?
Who
made him stay?
He had a bad game today, did he?
I wouldn't say no. He was average. I wouldn't say that back. He was good in the first half. He fell off in the second half. Again, I don't think that we should all just look in Mourinho. Obviously, he's the manager, so he makes the decisions in terms of how you go about doing your tactics.
Yeah.
Obviously, he has influence on the dressing room. Obviously, he will say to Ed Woodward, I'd like these players. However, we can't just blame everything on one man.
No, we cannot. You're right.
I think we're looking at a very small data set. Like we're looking at a very, very small sample of the events at United and said he's lost the dressing room. I think that is very presumptuous. Very, very presumptuous considering that we've only had conversations around 2 players. And even then, even if as influential as Pogba is, I don't look at Lukaku and see a player that doesn't want to play for his manager. I don't see that in Lingard. I don't see that in Sanchez. I don't see that in Matic. I don't see that in Fellaini. I don't see that in the whole back line. I don't see that De Gea. Most of the players at United are playing in a perfectly motivated way, but for a combination of other reasons, they're just not hitting the heights that you'd hope a team like Man United would hit. I think to say he lost his dressing room is very, very reductive. I think it's very basic, and I think it's very lazy to a degree.
Perhaps.
And we just need to look at everything into account. And obviously, I'm not saying everything's equal. I'm not saying...
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it's a combination of things. I'm not saying it's all equal. It's a combination of
because
things.
I'm looking at Lukaku.
Because we can't see it as fans. I don't care how much football we see.
Yeah.
We can't look at...
You don't get the whole picture.
We don't have the whole picture. So I think we need just to take a minute, pause, and then just settle. So
at what point do we say that Mourinho... At what point can we fully say Mourinho's done? If he doesn't win the league, if he doesn't challenge again, if he finishes 19 points behind, I don't know if it's City or Liverpool, if he tries to sign his players next season and he still doesn't perform, at what point do we say that Mourinho is done? But after that, after the call, because we got to get to these calls.
Yeah. But he won't be winning no league this year, that's for sure.
Well, you never know, he might. Hello, you're free to FanPark Live. What's your name?
Hi, it's Dave.
Hello, Dave. Who do you support?
United.
All right. How do you feel about the game?
Mate, to be honest, I'm fuming. Mourinho, I'm tired of his long ball football. He's the Portuguese Tony Pulis, you know what I mean? Like, his tactics are finished. Just Lukaku, he can't finish. Like, his touches, he's wearing Timberlands on his shoes, you know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. And Luke Shaw, I don't know, mate. He's still looking heavy. Do you know what I mean? I'm just frustrated. He needs to go. You know what I mean? He needs to get sacked.
You think Mourinho needs to go?
Yeah, I'm tired, mate.
All right. If
Liverpool are 8 points ahead of us, mate, I can't take this no more.
But 6 games.
Who would you bring in?
There you go.
It's 6 games. It takes 3 games to catch up.
Who would I bring in?
Yeah.
Mate, all the good managers are taken right now, but
Wenger?
I would.
He's trolling.
No way.
I was joking.
I think the Monaco manager would be a good shout.
Okay.
He won the league with a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? Like,
I hear
what about a Pochettino? Because there's a bit of problems at Spurs at the moment.
No, Pochettino can't win trophies. You know what I mean? He's a fraud.
He's a fraud as well. All right, so obviously you're saying that you're 8 points behind Liverpool, but as Chris pointed out, and rightly so, it's very early. You haven't even played 10 games. Pep Guardiola actually says that he doesn't look at the league table until 10 games. And in fact, there's loads of managers that have said that.
I've been saying that for years.
So
yeah, but
6 games in, how can you be talking about the amount of points you're behind a certain team?
Yeah, but look at the way we're playing football. We're not playing football. We're just playing long ball. We're playing Vanarama League football.
But today, Manchester United didn't play long ball today.
That's false. You didn't play long ball today.
In the second half, we did before Fellaini.
In the second half, you played long ball for about 15 minutes.
Even then, I still don't think it was long ball, because I saw a couple of occasions where Luke Shaw whipped a ball in from just outside the box. That's not long ball. I can't even remember the other players that I saw. Pogba whipped in a ball for Lukaku as well. Like, it wasn't
the long ball
ball
style, just crossing it in. You know what I mean? And doing long shots. So I want to see
Lukaku, if he puts that chance
football,
away.
You know what I mean? Like Pep. But we're not going to see that with Jose because he's a fraud.
But if Lukaku puts that away, you'd say it's a great ball, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but Lukaku can't score, mate. He's got 3 shoes.
What I'm trying to say, you can't blame the ball that's been put in. You say that it's a long ball put in, but he actually put a great cross in. But Lukaku missed it completely, didn't he? So,
yeah, he always misses, mate. There's a 5-minute compilation of Lukaku missing shot. He's terrible.
All right, fair enough. Listen, what was it? Fred? Ted? Ed? Dave, my bad.
Listen, bro. Listen to your callers.
My bad. Sorry, Dave.
Thank you
very much for your call, man.
All right, let me respond to that. All right, hold on. Let me talk to the Man United fans that are like Dave, because I know not every Man United fan is like this, okay?
That's a lot, though.
Fuck's sake. 2 years ago, City started off winning 10 games on a trot. People were talking about City as if they're going to win everything. Even reporters were going up to Pep during presses and they were like, so you're going to win all 4 trophies? He's like, yo, like, chill. Because the beginning of the season is just a fucking beginning. A great start is a great start, but that doesn't necessarily define how your season's going to look like. Now, yes, 8 points isn't the best situation to be in behind your rivals, right? But at the end of the day, you still have to play Liverpool twice.
True.
Right? And Liverpool aren't this infallible team that all of a sudden, because they've got Salah up front and they've got Mane and they've got Firmino.
And Virgil. He's playing brilliantly, is he, Salah, at the moment?
He scored today, though.
He scored today, and to be fair, he had a slowish start to the season last year as well. He only really kicked in after the first 10 games, to be fair. Anyway, what is it with this knee-jerk thing that like football fans just love having nowadays, man? Like, what are your expectations for Manchester United? Challenge for the title, right? Cool. You can challenge for the title playing the style of football that you're currently playing. You've just got to manage games better, and then you've got to get more out of your strikers, because Lukaku's capable of, like, he's already one of the best goal-scoring strikers in Premier League history, and he's only in his mid-20s.
But do you think he's capable of that, though?
I think he won't get it in this current setup under this current manager. That's what I believe.
What conditions does he need at Manchester United to improve? Because I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
True.
So what conditions does Lukaku need to thrive? And that question goes to both of you.
I would like to see Lukaku play with a forward that's closer to him, because I feel a lot of the time, because of his size, and because a lot of the times when they play it forward to him, he lacks support.
But no one plays that way, do they?
Well, they do. Like, I think you've got
to 4-4-2.
Not necessarily. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily about like playing 4-4-2 or whatever. I just think he needs to have more players closely around him that will not. Basically, defenders don't just have to think about Lukaku, because a lot of the time I saw it. It's a lot.
So should Pogba move forward?
No. Like where Pogba's playing is fine.
Yeah.
Where he's playing is fine.
So
for me, it's the fact that you got Lingard, you got Sanchez, you got Martial.
How about Rashford there next to him?
That could work. But again, it depends on the style that you want to play. So I think there's that's one angle. But when people say, okay, we need to sack Mourinho and so on and so on, all right, fair enough. I don't think Mourinho's probably the best fit for United. So I don't think he should stay at United. I don't think they should sack him anytime soon. But But when you have to ask him, who would you replace him with?
Yeah.
Oh, because you didn't win the league and the Liga, that means that he can be the replacement. Or Pochettino's a fraud because he hasn't won a trophy. But I'm like, what? You can only really get at a coach for not winning a particular trophy if they should be winning that trophy.
And you don't think Tottenham should be winning the league?
No. I think they should be competing.
Okay.
And they've competed under Pochettino.
Okay.
But when you say a fraud, that's someone that's, okay, you've got all of the resources. So Mourinho not competing for the league in his first season, that's a fraudulent season.
Okay.
Because they were never in the shout. Tottenham are a very, very, very good side, but you don't look at Tottenham and think they should be winning the league.
No, you do not.
So you can't really say, okay, he's a fraud because I'm on the league, because they've competed and they've done actually pretty well.
When they started the season, I thought they looked really. When they went to Old Trafford, since that game, they've.
Like
but does that just not go to show what Chris is saying? Even in this, that was 4 games in, we've seen a change in Tottenham's form. So 10 games in. And 20 games in.
Who knows?
Who knows what can happen?
Just take time. Like, people love it's such a hot take culture. Like, everything's got to be a hot take. Chelsea, let's talk.
let's take that final call. Chelsea fan.
Fucking hell, bro. I'm just listening to these.
It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Breathe. Hello, you're through to FanPark Live. What's your name? And should Mourinho be sacked? No, I'm just joking.
No.
Okay.
And yeah, it's your boy Daniel, bro.
Oh, man, what are you saying?
I'm good.
Good. Tell me about the game.
First of all, I believe Chris is the dude in the green hoodie, right?
You're correct.
Yes, I'm gonna ask you a question about Pogba, but I'll hold off for a second. My thoughts on the game. So yeah, I've seen progression from United in recent weeks, right? It's baby steps. It's very small.
Of course,
it's improvement. But I think I've seen improvement in their general play in terms of their build up from the back. However, I think blaming on Mourinho is a bit too harsh. When you look at some of the performances, for instance, Valencia offering minimal width on the right wing, that's a problem. Lukaku, I've always said he's like a poacher in a target man's body with, I guess, the pace of a winger, but then the touch of a donkey. Like, dude, I mean, it's terrible. But even Sanchez, again, he's stealing a living, 350k a week. I mean, it's terrible. Lingard, I'm a big fan of him, but he hasn't been that great so far this season. And I feel like there's almost too much responsibility on Pogba in the midfield now. My question is, I know none of you guys are United fans, but do you feel like Fred was the right signing now? I say this, he was probably his best performance today, but I don't know what he really offers that United thought was the best. Okay, how I want to word this is, I thought that they could have bought a better profile of midfielder to suit their midfield, so one can control a game and allow Pogba to push further up. So I want to know what you guys think about that.
Claude.
There you go.
It's difficult.
Claude wasn't listening.
It's a difficult one. No, you can have all different things. You can put all different players, different. I think the problem is, as you just said before, I think someone up front with someone next to Lukaku, like someone like Rashford.
No, I agree with you. For me, the player it's less to do with the players necessarily. I just think that whenever they purposely look for Lukaku, he tends to be by himself. Now, there are many occasions where when they do find him, his touch lets him down or he doesn't connect with the players. I think even today on like 3 or 4 occasions, I saw Sanchez try to play like those quick short balls into him in the box, and you expected him just to lay it off or have a touch and then lay it off. It's hard, man, because I think sometimes when a team is not as functional as it can be, it can make even a good player look average. So,
but what about that midfielder?
With Fred, I like Fred. I've told you this. I'm a big fan of Fred. I like the fact that whilst Pogba tends to play with the passes more so, with Fred he drives with the ball. Like, he's actually pretty intensive, pretty aggressive the way he carries the ball, and I think that's something that United not necessarily lacked, but could have used.
Okay.
How about Alexis going further forward up front with?
It could work. I guess it could work.
Alexis next to Lukaku. I think that would be even better.
You had a question about Pogba, because obviously if we're talking about the midfield, I really want to kind of get that out of you. Like, what were you going to ask?
Yeah, so I've seen Pogba for a long time, and even the arrogant Man City fan calling earlier, I think Pogba is on the same level as De Bruyne. Maybe De Bruyne's playing better. I can agree with that, but there's not levels between the two. I think Pogba's easily one of the best midfielders in the world, probably top 4 alongside Modric, Cruz, and Kante. But now, to my question is, when I see Pogba play, I look at him and get flashbacks of Ronaldinho. Now, I don't mean he's a similar player. They don't play similar positions at all, but I see him, and he gets the ball, and he's almost his first ball to try and beat a man, do an audacious pass, do something a little bit out of the ordinary, be very creative. Now, you don't see many central midfielders like that. Most of them tend to be controllers of the game, like a Cruz. They like to maybe take the sting out of it, and you get what I'm trying to say here. So my point is his best position really playing that deep in the pitch? Because as we saw for the goal that Wolves saw, despite him probably having one of his best games so far this season, he gave that ball away because he's taking a bit of a risk in the midfield, and obviously the defence should have defended better. But I feel like if you're playing him as in a number 10 position where he's behind Lukaku and he can actually create more and actually have more chances to create the goal like he did for today for Fred's goal, I think you're going to get more out of Pogba and get more out of him in general rather than him playing so deep down the field. Because as much as he's playing great long balls and a great 40, 50 yard passes with both feet, you can get more out of Pogba if you actually play him more in the final third.
That's interesting, because there's a lot of conversations I've seen over the last couple of years about playing Pogba further up. I actually think Pogba isn't necessarily the best player playing in between the lines. So I do prefer him playing as a number 8 or a number 6, where he's facing the attacking players and he's facing the goal. It's interesting what you said about Ronaldinho in the sense that he plays with a pretty individual, pretty, how can I put it?
Flamboyant.
Flary. Yeah. And listen, man, I'm a France fan, so I see him play in that 2 a lot of the time. He can play there. I think that's his best position, and I don't think I'd want to take away that element of his game because even with I wouldn't say it's a weakness.
It's a weakness because look at the goal we get.
No. I wouldn't say that's a weakness, and this is why, because for me Thiago is probably more like Ronaldinho in that kind of analogy that you use. Like he very much is, and he's played as the defensive midfielder for Bayern Munich. When he first got there, he was actually playing as a number 4. He's only ever played in the number 4, the number 8, and the number 10. So I don't think his individual style of play limits what Pogba can do. I don't think that's the case.
Hold on, Daniel. Thank you very much for your call, bro.
Cost them the equaliser.
Sure, no, take it, guys.
Thank you.
Didn't it really?
Yeah, but you say that, and again, I criticise Pogba in that moment because he should have done better there. But I'm not a fan of taking away traits that make the player who he is.
What I will say on Pogba, you said the thing about people talking about Pogba's position for a couple of years. I think what I've noticed between him and Ramsey, similarities, I think they both suffer from the fact, or did suffer from the fact, that they don't know their best position, or perhaps don't dominate in a way that you would expect a traditional person in that position to dominate.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Don't get me started on Ramsey.
See, but that's the thing.
Do not get me.
Let's not talk about Ramsey, but
let's not. But yeah, so I think the fact that Pogba doesn't necessarily have the traditional traits of Toni Kroos or a Modric or whatever, I think kind of blankets his skill set, which is incredibly useful for a central midfielder, but it just isn't being utilised in the right way. Will it be utilised in the right way? We don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out another day. But guys, this is the end of the show. We'll be back after the Tottenham game, which I believe would have kicked off by now. Am I correct?
Yep.
Yes, it has. We'll be back after that. So make sure you tune in. Yeah, thank you very much for watching.
Peace.
Real fan opinions brought to you